An unstoppable force or an unmovable object? Why not both? If you ever wanted to play the tank and still feel heroic while doing that, this is the video for you. This is the Daggerheart Guardian class guide. The Shiny Knight with a big shield and an even bigger smile. The semi-naked warrior with an inexplicable inner fury that refuses to go down. The cute demon girl that simply won't budge. And trust me, you don't want to see her ugly side. Those are just some of the shapes and forms a guardian can have. This class is not just about defense, it's about heart, grit, and hitting back stronger than anyone expected. Today in my TED Talk, I'll explain why Daggerheart did not let barbarians out of their game. They simply reflavored it. By the end of this video, you have a whole different perspective of this class. I've been a forever GM for 20 years, and I have a little dab in game design. So when I say Daggerheart's my favorite game to date, that must mean something. That is to say, I hope I'm able to share some new insights with you. I'm Babu, and today we're talking about the Guardian class in Daggerheart. Shall we? So what kind of Guardian are you? You could be the Shiny Knight type, polished armor, bright smile, leading from the front like a Dungeons & Dragons paladin who actually pays taxes. Or a farmer with muscles like bricks and an innate sense of loyalty. Whatever shape you take, the vibe stays the same. You protect what matters. You take a hit so your friends don't have to. And when the time comes, you turn that pain into power. Sounds familiar? We'll get there. The Guardian isn't afraid of standing toe to toe with a dragon, or catching up a fireball in the face. You thrive where others hesitate. No need for flash magic or fancy words. You have a clear job, and you'll do what it takes to keep them in one piece. If you like being useful in every encounter, being the anchor when everybody panics, this is the class for you. Your evasion score is 9. And I will not mince words. It's terrible. But we are not here to dance. When a fireball flies, you're the goalkeeper. On the bright side, your hit points are 7, the biggest of the core classes. And that's before we even touch armor or defensive cards. You're basically a walking wall of meat and willpower. Now for your features. Your hope feature allows you to spend 3 hope to recover 2 armor points.
That is but a scratch.
Clean, fast, practical, no nonsense, you get what you pay for. Then we hit the main course, your class feature Unstoppable. Here's where the DNA of a barbarian starts showing. When darringtonpress dropped Daggerheart, people asked, where's the barbarian? Where's the class where you can scream shirtless while running toward dangers with a lot of HP? Well, look closer. We have the ton of HP. We have the means to be shirtless. We have the means to be reckless. Yes, my guys. Here's your screaming toward danger feature. Unstoppable lets you, once per long rest, awaken your inner strength. You start a count up dice, starting at 1. Whenever you hit someone, it goes up by 1 point. The higher it goes, the more damage you deal. Every hit harder than the last. During this you get less damage, you can't be vulnerable, and you can't be restrained. As the name says, you are now unstoppable. It's a temporary buff though. The condition ends once the dice maxes up and would tick up again. At level 1 we're talking about a D4. At level 5 it turns into a D6. And you can flavor it however you want. Berserker Rage? Calm Focus? Pure Adrenaline? It's your story. You define how it looks and feels. Pair that with your domain cards, and you can have your Guardian tilt towards pure damage, pure defense, or whatever point between those. Now we get into the real flavor, the core subclasses. As in the core rulebook you get Stalwart or Vengeance. The Stalwart card is all about becoming the unmovable wall. Your foundation card gives you +1 in your damage thresholds. That's basically as if you were 1 higher level when we're talking about defense. Then we have the Iron Will feature. As in the core rulebook, everyone can mark 1 armor slot every time they get hit. You can mark 2. It's like you are a tank with an extra layer of tank on top. If you upgrade to the specialization, you get a +2 in your damage thresholds. And yes, it stacks. Now you have a +3 total. At this rate, you're flexing while your friends are agonizing on the floor. Then you get Partner in Arms. You can step in and soak some damage whenever an ally at melee range gets hit. Well, you're thinking that's not enough? At your Mastery upgrade, you get a +3 in your damage thresholds. Now you're effectively 6 level higher than your friends while you're talking about defense. Finally, Loyal Protector lets you use the equivalent of the card I Am Your Shield whenever an ally has 2 or fewer hit points. We're talking about freeing up one domain slot, so you can choose another stronger ability while keeping the signature move of a Guardian. To this point, you're not a person anymore, you're a fortress. Now if you please accompany me to this side, we're talking about the other subclass, Vengeance. Vengeance is what we call an off-tank. You're still sturdy, but you can bite back. At Foundation, you get an extra stress slot. You also get the feature Revenge. When someone hits you in melee, you can spend 2 stress points to hit them back by 1 hit point. Then with the specialization upgrade, you get the Act of Reprisal. Whenever an enemy hits an ally, you get a +1 proficiency to revenge him. In Daggerheart, proficiency is not just a plain bonus, it's a whole new dice to roll when you damage this guy. By the way, I got a whole video on kobolds that covers the loyalty feature and pairs well with this subclass. Link over here. And now the big one, the Mastery card brings you the Nemesis feature. You can spend 2 hope to prioritize a target. Every time you hit this target, you can swap your fear and hope dice. Can you understand that? You're basically turning this poor soul into a hope cow to milk away. If you have a combat focused experience, you can basically guarantee you're hitting this guy with hope in every single attack. I mean, it should be a war crime. Okay, let's talk about some synergies. Those are some cards in your domain options that can work well together. If you want to live the bodyguard fantasy, consider those cards. They will help you to stay in front of your friends when things get ugly. If you want to play the tough guy or girl, consider those cards. Those will give you an even extra layer of tank over your layer of tank over your layer of tank. If you wanna be the cool person that everyone aspires to be, consider those cards. Now, if you're here for the Barbarian fantasy, those are the cards to look for. Okay, those 2 are for the late game. Those cards are for when you especially hating someone. This one's not about any synergy at all, but I thought it would be nice to have a word about bare bones. When you're making your character, this can seem like a no-brainer choice. This card is actually better than any armor in the game, but remember, you are using up one of your 5 total domain cards available. That is to say, there's actually no no-brainer choice here. If you want to be shirtless, take this card. Otherwise, you can take another good card and be whatever you want. There's more than one way to protect something you care for, and sometimes the best defense is offense. The Guardian is more than a bigger warrior. It represents an idea. You are an avatar of your beliefs. You become an inspiration, the heartbeat of your party. The first to go on, the last to fall. I hope I gave you some new ideas for your next Daggerheart character, or at least some new light on this class. If you got a nice inspiration for a Guardian class, please share in the comments. I would love to read it. As a new Daggerheart YouTuber, I'm still finding my voice and favorite format. I will eventually finish this class guide series, but the next video will not be about that. On the next video, I'll be converting Dungeons & Dragons cantrips to Daggerheart, and the next one, we're covering wizards. You know what to do if you want to be here when those drop. But for now, thank you for your time. It is valuable and I appreciate it. Now go put those muscles to good work.